All right, so as many of you know, this weekend being March 29th, we are going to be having the Cursed Seas update. As you can see over here in Moosewood, right where the Cursed Cold teleport is, there's a timer on the top that is just a little under 1 hour away from being exactly 4 days away. Now, obviously, there's been a lot of questions about this. It's no surprise that Cthulhu is going to be available for that update, but I think one of the things that I've gotten asked the absolute most is, will the max level increase? Which is kind of crazy. I feel like there's so many other questions that we should have other than the max level, but it seems like that is the repeated question every single time that I am live. Now, I briefly talked about this in my video yesterday where I told you guys that if we sort of follow the pattern of the developers, it is very likely that we're going to get an increase of 250 levels come this weekend. It just makes the most sense, but I also said that in an absolute worst case scenario, it would probably go up to 1,500. Well, with what I'm about to show you today, joke's on me, I guess, because it seems like that might not be the case. Now, before we continue on with this entire video, I do want to go over something that was changed on Saturday. I did see everyone's DMs. I'm fully aware that it changed. I was just waiting until this very moment, which was basically like the first little bit of leak that we got about the Cursed Seas update so that I could include it into here. But yes, the event on the front page has completely changed, just like how I told you was going to happen, although it's sort of a little bit different than what I expected. I expected it to sort of expand over time, but instead they sort of changed everything that's sort of around it. Now, obviously the smoke that's around it is sort of representing the smoke that ends up happening whenever we use a cursed storm totem. So this is obviously some type of a cursed storm. And then now we can clearly see the Cthulhu with what seems to be like maybe some type of new area. There's a bunch of rocks on the left, the right, and then a noob character sort of walking down on a dock. Now, what's interesting about this is that, for one, the title was changed. It says the seas are cursed, and then under it says, can you sail them? So this might be a very sort of like ocean focused update, which is kind of interesting, sort of different. Maybe we aren't going to see a new location, and instead we're going to see some other changes, like potentially boat combat or something. I don't know. Not sure how many people would want that, but either way, the description says, when stars drown in slumber's tide, follow the song where reason died. Beyond the veil, where madness be, does the dreamer wake or sail the sea? Now, I did sort of Google search this to see if maybe it was from somewhere. I didn't find any type of connection with anything, so not 100% sure what this means, besides the fact that it mentions Mariana's Veil, the Dreamer, which is obviously Cthulhu, as well as the ocean, basically, or the sea. Either way, man, that's great and all, but we really don't have too much information to go off of that. Specifically, what I want to talk about is the max level, as well as what the reward is likely going to be. So I want to say like a week or two ago, I told you guys that there was this weird sort of thing going on where leaks have been transitioning over from the Discord server to the Twitter page, or I keep calling it Twitter, to the X page, which seems to still be what's going on right now. Now, some of you may or may not remember this, but on March 11th, being actually, I believe, 2 weeks exactly from today, the official FISCH X page sent out saying 2,000 likes and I will give away my Hatsune Miku rod to 2 people. We never really got word again. Obviously, it's gotten 6,000 likes, over 148,000 views, and basically never was there any sort of winners announced for this, which is kind of odd. Now, if you notice, the person in the video is Do Small, which is also known throughout my community as well as throughout the entire Fish community as Const. Although he's technically labeled in-game as a developer, he's technically more of like one of the boss mans. Either way, we're going to go ahead and scroll through this past just a couple of days, and then we're going to lead into last night, where they tweeted out the number 2,500. Now, keep in mind, this was sent out at 1:42 in the afternoon, completely random, no context whatsoever. But as soon as I saw the notification on my phone, I instantly knew what was going on. And I mean, obviously, a bunch of other people did as well. This guy named Com said max level 2,500. We are so cooked. This guy said the next max level will be 2,500. I'm only at 360. Hope they give us a double XP week. Overall, it was just really obvious that that was exactly what they were talking about. But then I sort of started to think about it, and I was like, well, that doesn't exactly make a lot of sense because, well, in case you guys aren't aware, as you're playing the game, even when you do hit max level, like for example, a lot of us are level 1,000, but we still continue to play the game. And all of the XP that we earned is stored somewhere, so that way when they do increase the max level and you catch just that one fish, it'll automatically put you to what your new level is. So the vast majority of the time, whenever these major updates happen and they increase the max level, you'll always have people that'll instantly be max level. And I feel like that's the reason why they're taking the path of increasing it by literally 1,500 levels. I'm assuming that behind the scenes, they sort of did the math or maybe checked the data or whatever it may be and came to the conclusion that it would make the most sense to go ahead and pump it up to 2,500 so that way no one instantly hits it and obtains what the new max level reward is going to be. This has pretty much been the thing for as long as I can really remember. Since the game first released at level 500, you would unlock the no life rod. Once the max level was bumped up to 750, we had the Forgotten Fang that was available to craft for us. And then of course, as of most recently, we got ourselves the Seraphic Rod at level 1000. I say as of most recently, but technically speaking, this is from like 2 major updates ago, because the last major update, we didn't get a level increase. So now I'm sure you're wondering what exactly is going to be the new max level reward. Well, you see, the thing is that a couple of hours later, to be more specific here, at 6:36, they posted saying Miku Miku Beam. There's technically only one rod in the game that's related to that, and that is the Miku's Melody, which I've pretty much shown a bunch of times. For a very long time, only 2 people in the entire game had this, which was Const, because this rod was specifically made for him, and myself, because I was actually given permission by Const the moment that it was added into the game to be able to go ahead and use it. Now, you're obviously looking at this and you're thinking, wow, the stats are actually insane. You have 3,939% lure speed, 39% luck, which is pretty terrible, control 0.39, resilience 3,939 with a max kg of 393939. It's pretty broken. Now, obviously, the only unfortunate side about this rod is obviously going to be the luck on it, but it requires no effort whatsoever. I don't even have to click anything because the bar doesn't move at all whatsoever. And as you can see right there, the passive is very similar to Seraphic. But obviously, the huge selling point is the fact that it does play the Miku Melody. So yeah, ever since I basically showcased this rod, everyone has been wanting it, really just strictly for that melody that plays every single time that you catch it. The unfortunate reality is that if this does end up being the final reward for level 2,500, the stats are more than likely not going to be these. I know it's kind of unfortunate to hear that, but the reality is that these are kind of just a little bit broken. My guess will more than likely be that it'll be somewhere along the lines of like the Seraphic Rod, for example, except that technically speaking, it should be a little bit better than the Seraphic Rod. So we're probably looking at maybe some higher luck, maybe some higher resilience. I'm not sure. Now, if we scroll up a little bit more here on the X page, this doesn't change the fact that 2 people are still going to be winning this. So on the very first day of the update, although probably no one is going to be level 2,500, there is going to be 2 people out there that will have the rod completely early. So that in itself is more than likely a huge giveaway that this is going to be added into the game, and that of course it's more than likely going to get a pretty decent nerf. But yeah, man, like I said, this has been the question non-stop. What is going to be the reward? What's going to be the new max level? The reality is that this is what we're more than likely going to be seeing. Level 2,500 with the Miku Melody rod as the reward. I think a lot of people will be happy with this. I don't know how people are going to react about level 2,500, but it does end up giving us something to sort of chase after and give levels somewhat of a purpose. Right now, it just sort of feels like as soon as updates drop with max level, we instantly get to it because of the rolling over XP. I'm going to be honest, I didn't hit level 1,000 until just maybe like the last major update. Contrary to popular belief, just because I'm an admin doesn't mean that I give myself levels. I very much do it legit as far as the leveling goes. And same for my money too. But yeah, man, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel. Thank you to every single one of you that have been using my StarCode. If you are purchasing Robux or Roblox Premium, make sure to go ahead and use StarCode Carbon. Forces Roblox to pay me in cold hard cash, and I appreciate that. Either way, man, I will see you guys tomorrow with another daily fish video. So I will see you guys then. Take care.